Matt, very good to see you. Today, we're going to talk through the 2 questions you need to answer before you retire. As you get closer to retirement, a lot of questions start popping up, but 2 stand out as the most important before you hand in your notice. So, question number 1, what single financial risk could make the biggest impact on your retirement?
The biggest impact is longevity, Aaron. How long are you going to
Yeah.
live? And not just you, but also your spouse, because that determines Social Security planning. There's the widow tax where when one spouse dies, then the other Social Security goes away. And yes, you can take the higher of the two, but still it's less income. So
Hmm.
longevity, there's so many factors in longevity that
Yeah.
that is the biggest thing we need to discuss and talk about and plan for.
That's why it's known as the risk multiplier. Good point. All right. Question number 2, how can you eliminate the possibility of this risk ruining your retirement income?
Planning. You want to, we, as you know, we work with what we believe to be the most advanced planning software in the industry, and it can factor in hundreds and hundreds of different scenarios of what if interest rates go up, what if we have a war or another pandemic, etc. And we want to model your investments to be such that during various catastrophes, if you will, the model performs well. Because we
Hmm.
don't know when the next down market will happen, but we do know that it will.
Right.
But this also kind of ties into our another video we did on income planning. We want to make sure that people have guaranteed income planning throughout their retirement. But again, the most important thing to do is plan for various scenarios on the with the what ifs of life.
Right. Well, Matt, I always enjoy talking these topics through with you because you have such a great way of explaining it. But in some ways, it does feel overwhelming. How do we create a retirement plan with no known end date?
Well, good question. And what we want to do is have a retirement plan that ideally grows throughout your lifetime and not decreases through your lifetime. So, if we can use investments that can reduce your risk and still beat inflation, because inflation is going to be the biggest factor in depleting your money outside of expenses, outside of unknown expenses like healthcare. Healthcare could be, the average healthcare cost for seniors is like 350,000 with
Mm,
healthcare expenses, and that's not counting long-term care, right? But the other thing we want to plan for is obviously inflation, because if our bucket of money is growing and our income is growing, at least at the pace of inflation, then we're going to be fine. We're going to get through it, and we're going to have a good retirement.
Yeah, such a delicate balance between growth and protection, which is why I just want to pivot back. You touched on this a second ago, but what goes into stress testing a client's, excuse me, portfolio and income plan?
Yes, so we back test plans, and the way we do that is we use again what we believe to be the best software in the marketplace to back test plans, and it'll say if we went through another bear market like 2008, what would happen to these funds, or if we went through another COVID, what would happen to these funds. So we back test hundreds of different scenarios, including a lot of people are concerned right now about the value of the dollar and trade wars and everything else. We can back test those things to put together a plan that we believe is sustainable and will work as advertised. But also, it goes into planning before those things happen and knowing that we have a guaranteed income already coming in that's going to meet our
Mhm.
needs.
Yeah, absolutely, because it all comes back to peace of mind. It's great to talk this through with you, Matt. Again, I think some people will recognize that perhaps they don't have a plan that accounts for longevity, which we only want to be good news in our retirement. So if they'd like to sit down with you and talk through creating that financial plan, what's the best way to reach you?
Aaron, the best way is by phone. Give us a call at 425-256-3105. And we're looking forward to catching up with you.
Great. Matt, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.